in our previous video, I introduced you to Filius Network Simulator. I showed you how you can download and install Filius. We explore some tools in the Filius interface. And we created this simple connection where we have one laptop belonging to Kofi and the other laptop belonging to Amma. So we named it using these options here. So Kofi's device here. Now, it's not actually the name of the devices that connects them on the network, but what connects them is their IP addresses. So if you have two devices on the network, you want to actually give them individual IP addresses. Now, for the purpose of learning and simulation, we'll be assigning the IP addresses ourselves, but in very complex systems like what we use, some of these IP addresses are assigned automatically. Yes, so for the purpose of this, let's assign some IP addresses to Kofi and Ames laptops or notebooks. So now when you click on Kofi's notebook and you come to the properties here, you see that we have name, MAC address, which is the physical address already assigned to the device. Then we have the IP address, and this is the default IP address that Filius assigns to this. But when I click on Ames device, you see that Ames IP is the same as Kofi's IP. And that is not possible because on a network, every device must have its own unique IP to be able to communicate. Yes. So I will try and assign, let's say this Kofi's device, 192.168.0.10. So I'll come to Ama's device and assign a different IP. So here I'll just take the 0 out and add 1. So you now see that they both have unique IP addresses. Whilst they are connected, they both have unique IP addresses. Now they're on the same network, so they are all going to have the same subnet or netmask address because they are all connected to one network. Now, how do we test in Filius Network Simulator to see if these two devices are actually connected and if they can share resources with each other? So to do this, we will now move into the simulation mode. So we'll click on this big green play button here. So we are in the simulation mode. And once you click on any of the devices, you see this window pop up. And this window is trying to simulate the interface or the window of your computer. So you can see we have home screen. Now we can install a number of software, and this is like the home screen of Kofi's computer. If I click Ama's computer, you can see Ama here, and you can see Ama's home screen. So I can get Kofi's home screen back from here, Ama's home screen here. So you can see Kofi with Kofi's IP and Ama with Ama's IP. So I'll go to installation. Now this interface allows you to install a number of software that you can use to do the simulation. Now you are not installing the software on your computer directly, but in the simulation. So I'll go to install software, and you can see we have a number of software available here: command line, DNS server, echo server, email server, and so on. As we go on in these videos, I'll be showing you what all this software can do. In fact, we'll be we'll be playing around with some of this software to see how they work. But for the purpose of today's tutorial, we are going to focus on the command line. So I'll click command line and click on this arrow to move it into the install session. And I go to apply, and you can see it appearing here. Now, for today, we don't want to install any software for Ama. So now let's try to see if the connection is right. So I'll click on command line and open my command line interface here, and I'm going to test the network. So in computer networking, one of the simplest way to test the network is to run the ping command. So in networking, the concept is that when you ping, you get a pong. So ping pong, something like that. So the sender pings and the receiver pongs to identify that yes, we are connected. We can share resources. So in here, I'm going to type in ping. Then who am I pinging, or which device am I pinging? Now remember, even though the device is AMA's device, logically the device is not recognized as AMA, but it is recognized with its IP, its unique IP. So I'll enter the IP, which is 192.168.0.11. That is AMA's device's IP here. So I'll just run this command, and you can see there is something happening here. There is a green showing that the data is actually being sent through this connection to AMA. And if you check in our command line, you can see it's telling me ping, and 4 packets transmitted, 4 packets received, 0% packet lost. So the data have been transmitted successfully because we have the right connection. Now, another way I can check whether data has really been transmitted, if I come to the device sending the data, let's say Kofi's data, and I right click, you can see we have 2 options here where we have show desktop and show data exchange. So I'll click on show data exchange to see the data that have been exchanged. So you can see this interface here. It's not any complex interface. You can see we have number. It's just telling you the number, source, destination. So you see we have sent the data from 192.168.0.102 this to AMA's IP here. Now, this first 2, and it's also telling us the protocol that is being used at a point in time. You will remember the concept of layers in network or data communication, or networks in transmission, where we have the TCP/IP model and the OSI model. Now, this here is using the upper protocol just to establish connection here. And you can see these are the internet layer level. If you talk about the TCP/IP model, these are the internet layer. Now, this is also using the ICMP protocol here to connect. So you can see here, it says echo ping. This has pinged this device, and you can see it responding pong. Another ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. And if you check back into the command line, you realize that they said 4 packets of data delivered, 4 packets of data received. Yes. So it's like you send, I receive, you send, I receive, you send, I receive. So these 8 packets here, 8 layers being displayed here. 1 layer represents send, which is the ping. The other layer, pong, represent the receive, which is pong. So you can see it here. Now, when I come down here further, you can see the 2 layers that were involved. This is the source using the MAC address, the destination of the MAC address. If you come here to, we also have the source IP address, destination IP address, and this is the protocol being used. If you look through, you see that protocol have been repeated throughout, and the data that was actually, packet of data that was actually sent is a ping that have actually been sent. So basically, we are using this interface here to actually simulate a transmission between Kofi's computer and AMA's computer. So basically, that's one of the ways you can use Filius to simulate networks. Keep up with the videos. If you find this very interesting and you think this will help you in your lessons, please do subscribe so that you don't miss out on anything anytime I share a video on any software that you could use to make your lessons better. Do subscribe to this, and I will see you in the next video.